I regard myself as a lifelong unpaid employee of the Asia Society. As a retiree of the Williamsburg Conference, I'm very grateful to Jamie, to Mike and Hichong, and to Simon for inviting me to share this panel with two old and good friends, Nayan Chanda and Shaukat Aziz, and a new friend, David Carden. I'm also very pleased to speak under the chairmanship of my good friend Simon Tay, who, in my view, represents the best of Singapore's second generation of public intellectuals. So, Simon, it's a pleasure to be moderated by you. In the 8 minutes that you have allocated to me, I wish to make 3 points. First, I want to talk about the United States and ASEAN. Second, I want to talk about regional economic integration. And third, I want to talk about the evolving regional architecture. I proceed directly to my first point. I want to say on behalf of the ASEAN family, a very big terima kasih to Pak Obama and Ibu Hillary. To those of you who don't speak Bahasa, I just said that on behalf of ASEAN, I wish to say a big thank you to President Obama and to Secretary Clinton. No previous administration has given to Southeast Asia and to ASEAN the high priority that this administration has. And this is due, I think, partly to the fact that the current president is the first president in US history to have been born on a Pacific island, Hawaii, although Donald Trump disputes that. But it is also due partly to the fact that he's the first and only president who can speak Bahasa and had spent part of his childhood growing up in Indonesia. So what has President Obama and Secretary Clinton done in the last 2 years? The United States has acceded to the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation. The United States and ASEAN has held 2 leaders' meetings in September 2009 in Singapore and last year in New York. And this year, the 3rd summit meeting between President Obama and the leaders of ASEAN will be held in Jakarta, back to back with the East Asia Summit. The relations between the United States and ASEAN are warm, they are substantive, they are multifaceted, and they are mutually beneficial. The United States, Jamie, used to be our number 1 trading partner. But you have lost that position. The United States is now our 4th largest trading partner behind China, the European Union, and Japan. So the first point I want to make is that the United States and ASEAN should work together to try to increase the two-way flow of trade between my region and your country. I would also like to speak to the American private sector and say that with ASEAN economic integration, which hopefully will be consummated in 2015, many new opportunities will be profit to the American investors. And I hope to see much more American investment in the ASEAN countries in the coming years. ASEAN looks forward to welcoming the United States to the East Asia Summit towards the end of the year. We are confident that you will play a positive role, and we thank you for your consistent support for ASEAN centrality in the East Asia Summit and the other regional groupings. Let me go on to my second point. I want to speak briefly about the ongoing process of regional economic integration. There are 3 processes which are bringing about regional economic integration. And the 3 processes are being driven by ASEAN Plus 3, which is working on an ASEAN Plus Free Trade Agreement, the East Asia Summit, which for convenience I will call ASEAN Plus 6, which is also working on a comprehensive economic partnership agreement, and by APEC. As many of you know, APEC member economies have a shared vision, and the shared vision was embodied in the so-called Bogor Goals. And this is to realize soon free trade and investment in the Pacific. We are almost there, but we are not quite there. And in order to bring us to the vision, we have something called the Trans-Pacific Partnership. The United States is currently engaged with 7 other like-minded economies in working on the Trans-Pacific Partnership. The ASEAN countries believe that there is no need for us to choose between the 3 processes because they are mutually reinforcing, and they offer us 3 possible pathways to achieving our vision, which is regional economic integration. Let me go on to my final point, the evolving regional architecture. Friends of ASEAN have often complained to me that the evolving regional architecture is very messy. For example, I was recently in Korea and before that in India. Friends asked me, do we still need ASEAN Plus 3 when all the members of ASEAN Plus 3 are in the East Asia Summit? Others have asked me, with the accession of the United States and Russia to the East Asia Summit, would it be a good idea to downgrade APEC from a leaders level meeting to a ministerial meeting and for APEC to report to the East Asia Summit? Let me just share with you some thoughts I have on this topic. I want to say that first, it's not possible to downgrade APEC to the ministers level and to request APEC to report to the East Asia Summit because the 2 processes don't have the same membership. And APEC, by the way, is a very valuable institution. It is a success story. It is not a failure. Intra-APEC trade is as high as intra-EU trade. And APEC is the only institution that links the 2 sides of the Pacific Ocean. I just want to say that every component of the existing regional architecture evolved at a particular time to serve a specific need. Yes, the architecture may seem messy, but this messy architecture has served us well. And in conclusion, I would suggest that we should heed the American folk wisdom that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Thank you.